Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everybody back to Hitting the Turnbuckle. It's Rampage review time. We're getting ever closer to Full Gear now. Can't wait for this pay-per-view. It looks really, really, really good. But Rampage followed up from Collision this week, and it started with the match that, if you remember, they done Trent won a match on Collision, and he went against Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. This is exactly, well, a match that you would expect from two veterans of this match. You know, if you remember, Trent took on Penta, Brian Cage, and Commander to win the match only about an hour ago as well, which is crazy. But in terms of two veterans, really, really entertaining match to start this show. You know, and it even, you know, Christian nearly at 50 years old, he's putting on some incredible matches. His character as well is fantastic. This is Christian probably at his best, really, which is so good to see. Lots of back and forth on this one. There was a moment where I thought where Trent blocked the kill switch and it hit strong zero, and it was the longest 2.9 count I've ever seen in my life. And then Luchasaurus, unfortunately, applies the distraction on the outside of the ring, and then he finally hits the kill switch to retain the TNT Championship. Bit of a bad, you know, the ending there, but the rest of this was outstanding. Trent, I haven't seen Trent in a while, you know, in the ring. It was great to see him out there doing what he does best. And I just mentioned Christian Cage is unbelievable, nearly 50 years old, probably doing his best work, certainly his best singles work, probably since his TNA run when he started. Loved it. And more of the same, really, for that. The next match was Emi Sakura versus Toni Storm. Now, Emi Sakura is the teacher of Hikaru Shida. So this was Toni Storm's warm-up match. We thought it was going to be against Maya, but it wasn't. Emi Storm literally like reddened Toni Storm's chest with some chops. I mean, her chest was like a strawberry, you know. You know, and she really went to town on Toni on this one. I think Sakura's really underrated, actually, because anybody that she goes in that ring with, she can make a star out of. And the match wasn't particularly long as such, but Rampage is only an hour, so we have to be careful. We have to be careful about how long these matches are. But yeah, she's so underrated. In this match again, it was a bit back and forth as well on this one, but Toni Storm wins it by DDT, hip attack, and then the stuck power driver by Storm. And her character is absolute. I can't say this enough, and I know that you know. I do know that I say this nearly every time we speak about AEW and Toni Storm, but the character, the Marilyn Monroe character, she plays that unbelievable. I know people were saying, "Oh, she had a silly character in WWE, and now she's playing this." I think the big difference is how she's adapted this character and how she's worked her way into playing this character. WWE, I wasn't quite sure what the character really was, so perhaps she wasn't that sure either. So to have her playing a character that she can play so well, it was fantastic. And Toni Storm is just brilliant. Hopefully she goes on to win the AEW Championship, Women's Championship at Full Gear. I think she deserves it. I know it'll be her third run, but this character just works. Really does. If she wins the match, she obviously goes on now to face Shida at Full Gear. Looking forward to seeing that match as well, but another victory for Toni Storm. Renee Paquette is in the back with Jay Lethal in the group, just basically saying that Eddie's last day as champion is going to be tomorrow, because on the Full Gear or 0 hour, Kingston is going to defend his title against Jay Lethal, and Eddie says that Jay Lethal's speaking like the rest of them, and he's becoming a coward like the rest of them. We'll see if Eddie Kingston can hold on to that title, and we'll see. Roderick Strong and Action Andretti is next. Really, they call Roddy Strong next strong. I mean, this match was really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to, go into much detail into the match itself. It was a good match. They've portrayed this neck gimmick. Roderick Strong's had a neck injury. Action Andretti tries to do a sort of running Spanish fly, dropped him on his neck. I mean, it was the landing was, and he actually went to cover Roderick Strong at this point. The referee stopped the match at that point. The camera actually zoomed away as Doc Sampson jumped in on him and to check on him. But Roderick Strong seemed okay, and the match continued, amazingly enough, which Andretti hits a springboard into a huge knee strike. But Roderick Strong managed to end it with the end of the heartache and win. Scary moment, really, for this one. It was, the match was actually really, really good, but it was just... It just kind of, at that point, you kind of zap the energy out of it a little bit with that Spanish fly. Didn't go that well. But thankfully, Roderick Strong's fine. He did pick up the win. And obviously his group and Adam, Cole and MJF, that will carry on. So, yeah. But I'm glad Roderick Strong's okay and a good victory for Roddy Strong. The main part of this was what Renee was with Jay White, and he says Jay White is the devil and needs to bring his good squad. The Golden Guns won't let MJF make it to the main event tomorrow, but if he does, Jay White's going to prove that he's better than MJF. And then MJF comes out, attacks White in the back. White begs off as Juice then attacks MJF from behind and throws him into the locker room. White gets the door of the locker room and opens it, and when he opens it, Juice is covered in blood, and MJF throws a TV at White, but Juice is out of it at this point. The fight spills to the ring. MJF is chasing Jay White around and the Triple B to try and get the belt back. The Guns are there. Now MJF is cleaning the house. The belt is in the ring. He's got his belt back. He measures White, but the Guns jump him again. They're all on him. MJF gets blasted in the face with a belt. Oh, just about to get blasted in the face with a belt. And then Samoa Joe comes out, makes the save, clears the ring, extends the hand to say he'll be his partner or at Full Gear tomorrow, as long as he obviously gets that title shot. MJF shakes the hand of Samoa Joe, and that is his partner for the first match of 0 Hour at Full Gear. So MJF is filling in for Adam Cole tomorrow night, which will be brilliant. And that does mean MJF gets another title shot down the line. Amazing stuff. MJF finally succumbed to the fact he needed Joe, which is going to make it a lot more interesting after Full Gear, which is, again, what I've already mentioned on shows. What AEW is doing so good at the moment is they're setting up bits and pieces, setting up some lot more moving parts to do after Full Gear. So really good job from AEW. This Rampage just felt like another third hour Collision, which was great. It just hit differently at this point. Collision delivered the storylines as well, and the Rampage gave us the wrestling, plus a really big segment that goes into Full Gear with the main event and the start of 0 Hour. Really, really good on this. Loved the Collision and Rampage together. It was such a good watch. But that leads us right into Full Gear. In just a few hours' time, we'll be sitting down and watching Full Gear. Cannot wait for that. But guys, this has been the Hitting the Turnbuckle AEW Rampage review. You can follow us on Twitter at HTTBuckle, or just type in Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast across all other socials. We will be back with a Full Gear review. We've got Bischoff. We've got an interview with the Smiler on Wednesday. We've got review shows. We've got the lot. We're heading out to Progress Wrestling next Sunday as well. Looking forward to seeing that Vendetta show over at the Electric Ballroom in Camden. But until then, everybody, please buckle down, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.